Bitcoin is seeing a massive pump, guys, and in today's video I'm going to answer the question whether this is a scam pump, whether this is a legit pump, and why the price of Bitcoin basically went up, and which signals we have to watch right now in order to know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Now we are going to have a look at the stablecoin dominance, we are going to have a look at the liquidation levels, and many more charts. So make sure you watch this video till the end. So right now, drop a like and let's jump straight into the content. Bitcoin had a massive green candle right here, which is very interesting because it's not only interesting in terms of price, but it's also very interesting in terms of time. But let's first start off with the structure, guys. We have right here a potential rising wedge formation, which we broke down. Right now we are trying to get back into this formation. It's important for that confirmation to also have a nice daily close and not completely retrace this move, of course. Then we can also see that we try to break back above the resistance in the relative strength index. All very bullish signs in the shorter term time frame. If we have a look at this chart was basically already predicting it. That is the stablecoin dominance, which got rejected so far from the resistance. Right now broke this smaller uptrend. The moment we broke this uptrend, that was the moment that Bitcoin actually started to pump. But I'm still going to be a little bit conservative in the sense of that we haven't seen a breakout from this triangle formation yet, and I want to see a breakdown or a break up before I can really say what is going to happen until the end of this year. And I think a breakdown right here would come along most likely with an ETF approval. Why? Because we need, of course, when this comes down, we need a lot of liquidity and a lot of reasons basically for liquidity to flow into Bitcoin, right? And one of the most important charts is this one. This is the M2 money supply, and we can just see that this chart is highly correlated with Bitcoin and risk on assets. And we can just see that recently there's not an increase in the money supply, right? And the use case for Bitcoin is, of course, to protect yourself against an increase in the money supply. And we can also see it that the previous time in 2019, the whole bull market in Bitcoin got actually kicked off by this crazy spike in money printing. And if we don't see something similar right now, we need another reason for that liquidity to go into Bitcoin, right? And we don't have that right now. There is no ETF approval, so that liquidity is not going to Bitcoin right now. There is no money being printed, so there is no reason for Bitcoin right now to go into that acceleration phase of the bull market. Or, and this is something that I'm thinking of as well, maybe other people know things. So maybe this pump is caused by insiders that actually know that Bitcoin ETF is approved. Right, I don't know that. That is definitely possible, but we got to be very careful right here because it's pumping without any clear sign, right? So that can be bullish, of course, if there's something happening like that ETF approval, which insiders know and that's why they're buying. But it can also be dangerous because it can also be a scam pump, right, where they just drive the price up to get like this, to get like the liquidations, because a lot of liquidations happens, as you can see right here, to the upside. And this is also the chart that makes me slightly cautious, because you can see we have a lot of liquidations to the downside as well, around a little bit above $27,000. But it doesn't mean that in the shorter term time frame we actually can see higher levels, because you can see we still have some liquidations above us at 28,200. So it's still possible that Bitcoin makes another push to the upside. And heck, it's even possible for Bitcoin right now to just go into an uptrend, right? But for that, we really want to see this chart breaking down, because then we have a very low risk kind of certainty that Bitcoin is just looking very, very bullish, right? And if we look at the longer term time frame liquidations on the 1 month, then we can see that also the majority of the liquidations are below us at 26.5, and we got some at 26,000. So I would expect, guys, that at least sooner or later these liquidations or this liquidity will be picked up by the Bitcoin price. So I would definitely argue that the chances are very likely that we are going to see these levels again. And one thing I want to share with you is that this chart also has right now another gap. Or maybe not really. Maybe we already filled it last night. Let's have a look. Yeah, kind of. We did fill the gap already. So we created a gap up on Sunday night right here. We did came down to fill that gap, 27,150. But there are still some gaps below us. So we have right here gap at, what is it? 26,260. You can see that this already aligns with those liquidation levels, right? There are some more gaps. There's one big gap at 20,000. It's the big question, the $1 million question, whether we are going to fill that gap, yes or not. But this is already some confluence, right? 26,200, that gap with those liquidations. But yeah, it doesn't mean that we have to necessarily fill that in the shorter term time frame. We did made a nice trade over on Will Alerts. We had here a falling wedge formation, chain link against US dollar, and this one broke out to the upside. Right now is up roughly 2%, but it's actually quite nice because Chainlink is looking pretty bullish. And I made a complete fundamental analysis and technical analysis with the complete strategy over on Will Alerts. Yeah, one of the trades was this breakout, which right now is in profit, and yeah, definitely a beautiful trade so far. If you want to join Will Alerts as well and enjoy that extra information on the cryptocurrency markets, make sure to join with the affiliate link down below. You can basically join for free, but you got to be an active trader on either Bybit, BitGet or Phoenix, and you got to sign up with the affiliate link down below. Then you can submit your user ID over on the Will portal, a website under the section Will Alerts, and then we check from our end if you meet the requirements. If yes, then we put you into the Telegram channel. Make sure that you are providing the right Telegram handle and not like, no typos and stuff like that, so that we actually can find you when you submit your data. So yeah, guys, I think it really comes down to the core right here. There is a lot of bullish news for Bitcoin coming, right? We have the potential Bitcoin ETF that will be approved. We have the Bitcoin halving that is coming next year. But I think we really need a little bit a stimulant in terms of liquidity in order to really get that price going in the bull market. And it feels like that right now we are just kind of seeing choppy price action. And as you can see, this range also right here, it has been pretty choppy. Right, it has been pretty choppy. There's no clear direction. We're just going sideways, and I think we shouldn't get too excited. Although it is very nice for Bitcoin that we do see this pump, I do think we shouldn't get too excited if we don't really break this one down, because I really want to see this structure change in order to get very optimistic. Yeah, right now we get a nice pump, and that's beautiful, and it was definitely definitely like almost a 1,000 US dollar candle. So that is very nice. But be careful with getting too optimistic like early on, because we might even see this thing full retrace. And I want to say something about the 60-day cycle. So if we have a look at the Bitcoin cycles, then we track the 60-day cycle. We are right now at day 56. And it looks like, not really confirmed yet, but it looks like that this might be an early cycle low. Why is that? Because we're actually breaking back above the 10-day moving average. But guys, this is definitely no guarantee. It's still possible that we are going to set that cycle low later. This was a kind of a late cycle low. But yeah, it's definitely possible to set that cycle low right here, higher than expected. And maybe we can even see Bitcoin going to the resistance of 30 to 31,000 US dollars. That is definitely possible if we can break above 28,200, 28,300, then it's definitely possible that Bitcoin is going to see those higher levels, maybe even reach up to the levels of 30,000 US dollars. That's going to be interesting. Terms of time, what are we watching? So we have like, this is a 60-day cycle. roughly to the levels to the time right now, but the 60-day cycle actually would come in at the end of this week, so Thursday or Friday. So yeah, it's still possible. We are going to see still something crazy, and then the next 60-day cycle will be at the 20th of December. Yeah, it will be interesting to see where Bitcoin is going to be right there, because we're also going to close the weekly cycle. So yeah, if we are maybe going to do something like this, where we like maybe test these lows again, or maybe we can even surpass these lows and come and fill this CME gap right here, and then maybe take off. I would argue that it's not very likely for Bitcoin to break this resistance in the shorter term time frame. For such a scenario, we need a catalyst, and yes, that catalyst might come, but as long as that catalyst is not there, I'm not yet seeing that scenario basically. So guys, that was it basically for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, make sure to leave a thumbs up, very much appreciated. Make sure to subscribe down below, and I wish every single one of you a beautiful day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.